I was just editing clips together for the start of this week's vlog and realized that I never did an intro for it. So this is the intro. It's Thursday afternoon already, and the first clips you see are gonna jump back to Wednesday. Anywho, welcome to this week's vlog. The first book I read is Noble Prince by Devney Perry for the read-along that I'm doing with Jess and Tori and Sam from Sam Reads a Little. So that's the first book that I was starting for this vlog. And then Jess announced that her interview with Brittany C. Cherry is going to be tonight, Thursday, at 6, which is in about 15 minutes. So I picked up wherever it is, The Air He Breathes. I think it's, oh, it's back there on my chair. It's right there. Spoiler alert, didn't finish it in time for the live show, but I'm definitely going to complete it afterward. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this vlog. Let me know what you're reading this week or what you read last week, if you're participating in the Clifton Forge read-along. And then it was recently announced that they will be doing a Wolf Hotel readathon by K.A. Tucker, which is interesting. It's a series I'd never heard of before, but I hear I think it's a 4 or 5 book series about billionaires in Alaska, which is interesting. And they're all on KU, so this is honestly giving me a reason to reuse my KU subscription, because otherwise I would have no idea what I would want to read. I would just be picking up all the stuff I have on my physical shelf, which is fine. I need to read the physical stuff I have anyway, but I'm paying for the KU subscription, so I also need to get my money's worth that way. So doing these read-alongs is actually helpful for that. Also, I would like to point out and put a reminder for everyone, the Clifton Forge series is going to be taken off of KU on August 24th. So if you're watching this and you want to get any of the books, get them now before the 24th. As long as they're downloaded onto your Kindle before they're taken off KU, you can still read them before you return them, they won't get returned as long as they're downloaded onto your Kindle. So if you want to read the series, get it now. That's a little bit of I think I mentioned that in my other vlogs, but I'm just reminding everyone again, because in 2 days they'll be gone from KU. So just, it's a great series. I definitely recommend it. Anyway, I'm gonna go into the vlog now, and I hope you guys enjoy.
What are you doing? What are you hugging mommy's leg for? You're so cute. Hmm? Hello, I'm back because I finished Noble Prince by Devney Perry, and I am giving this 5 stars. This series is so good. Okay, I know a lot of people didn't like the previous book, Stone Princess, because it's like the least motorcycle club out of all of them. And like I said in that vlog when I read it, I enjoyed it. And I think it's just that I'm on a really good reading kick right now, that like everything I pick up is just really good. I don't know what it is, but I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed this one more than that one. But so I was reading when I finished the book, I was reading the like author's note acknowledgement stuff at the end. And this book was originally not going to happen. Luke, she was going to write books for the characters, or the main people that deal with the garage, so like the guys that were in the MC, and then Presley, because she's pretty much like a sister to the guys. But she said when she introduced Luke at the end of Riven Knight, which was book 2, Isaiah's book, she knew he needed a story. And then we met Scarlet and knew that he was his and she was his, and I'm just like, oh my god, thank you for discovering this, because I loved Luke. When we meet him at the end of Riven Knight, I was like, ooh, who is this guy? Because he's introduced. Like, that's the first time we see him, is at the very end of that book. And I'm like, ooh, who's this guy? And then that's when I started kind of like looking ahead to see who the couples were, and I saw he had his own book. And then briefly, Scarlet is mentioned at the end of book 3. No, not book 3. It was book 2. It was in the epilogue of book 2 where Presley mentions Scarlet's name, but we don't know who she is, of course, until book 3. And I'm just like, oh, once you discover who the characters are in relation to everybody, as soon as you get to their book, it's like the build-up is just worth it. So good. So, did I mention, I don't know, Luke is the chief of police. And then Scarlet is Presley's sister, which, if you haven't read those previous books, is kind of a spoiler. Not really. I mean, I there's a lot of stuff I don't consider spoilery, but some people might. But I definitely suggest reading all of the books in order, because even though like the stories themselves, the romances themselves are standalones, there is events from previous books that carry over, and it's not going to make sense. Like, you won't understand what's happening if you don't read the previous books. So you don't necessarily have to read like I mean, I would just read them in order. Just save yourself the trouble, read them in order. They all have different tropes in them. This one is a forced proximity trope, which is hilarious because she has to go into protective custody for something that happened at the end of the previous book. And she is in like a safe house sort of situation, not happy with it, sneaks out, gets caught, and Luke is like, what can I do to make you stay put, to keep her safe? And she just doesn't want to go back to the house, so he ends up having her live with him in his house. It's actually really entertaining, because she's locked in the house all day with nothing to do, so she starts rearranging his furniture. So funny. He'll come home every day and something will be like missed in a different position, and then she just gets tired of doing that and just rearranges it all again. It's great. There is another scene where they go floating down the Smith River that I love, and it's fantastic. And then we meet. So at the end of this book, we get set up for Leo's book, which I was wondering about, because Leo's kind of like he's formerly part of the Tin Gypsies, works at the garage. We don't really get a whole lot about him, other than he's like the playboy of the group, and he sleeps around a lot. We get glimpses of his like hookups that he's been with. We meet a couple of the girls. Then we get introduced to his love interest in his book at the end of this one. And I'm like, oh, we get set up for that. I did download the bonus content book. At the end of each of these books, there's a link that you can click on to get the book. You have to subscribe to the Devaney Perry's newsletters, and it comes with the bind up of all of like the bonus epilogues and deleted scenes. So I haven't read the bonus epilogues. I did read it for this book, and I have to say it was a little bit satisfying because most people, the bonus epilogues usually are like throwaway stuff, just kind of like where the characters are in like the future. Like this one is like 11 years later and where everyone is, but this one is highly satisfying because we get to see what happened with briefly, like kind of it's satisfying enough but not fully satisfying, where we get to see what happens with Presley and Scarlett's parents, their mother mostly. So if you've read the books, I would recommend at least reading the epilogue for this one, because a bonus epilogue, the regular epilogue is just like a typical epilogue, but the bonus epilogue for this one gives you a little bit of like, because I was wondering throughout the whole thing, I'm like, well, what happened with their parents? Because if you just read the book and you learn the situation, but I was just curious because it felt like that wasn't something that was resolved and was just left completely open. So the bonus epilogue kind of concludes that a little bit. I would have liked more to happen, something more specific to happen, but at least we get something, a little glimpse of what happens. So it was so good. I love Luke. I'm glad he got his own book. I really am. Because we got to see him in the third book a lot more, because he dated Presley for like a very short amount of time. But I'm glad he got his own story. It made me happy. Anyway, that book was 5 stars. I'm going to take a little bit of a break from reading. It's just about 1 o'clock, so I'm going to make myself lunch, and then I'm going to start. I decided what I was going to start. I knew after I finished this, I was like, well, I'm probably going to want to jump into Fallen Jester next because of the way this book was set up. But I still have like 2 weeks to read both the Fallen Jester and Tin Queen, are the last 2 of this read along. So I still have 2 weeks, so I'll probably read another book or 2 before I dive back into that world. I really don't want this to be over. I love this series. I really need to get the physical paperback copies because it's so good. But Jess from Peace Love Books announced that her interview with Brittany C. Cherry is going to be rescheduled to tomorrow night. So I'm going to pick up The Air He Breathes next by Brittany C. Cherry, which is the first book of the Elements series. Now, I know everyone's been reading book 3 lately, which is The Silent Waters, and has been obsessed with it. I know The Gravity of Us, which is book 4, is a lot of people's absolute favorite of the series. I don't have either one of any of those. So I'm just going to read book 1. I know I'm definitely not going to be able to finish more than one. It's less than 300 pages, so I could probably get this done. I do work tomorrow, but again, I have all day left today, all afternoon left, until the live show for the Clifton Forge read-along is tonight at 8. So I have like 7 hours left to do what I need to do and read, and then I'll have a few hours after I get home from work tomorrow to finish what I need to finish with this. But yeah, I'm gonna go. My dog has the cat like cornered in the hallway. I'm gonna go save him in a minute. I just wanted to finish this clip. But I'm gonna go eat lunch, and then I need to do some cleaning in the house. I haven't really done anything other than watch the dishes for like a really long time and do laundry. So I actually need to like vacuum and stuff. So I'm gonna do that, eat lunch, and then I'm gonna I have to upload a lot of this footage from last week's vlog so I can put it together and get it ready for Monday when it comes out. And then I'll sit down and read some more. I should be up to date by then, but alright, I'm gonna go and rescue the cat, and I will talk to you guys when I have another update. Hey everyone, I am back with an update. I finally finished The Air He Breathes by Brittany C. Cherry, and I forgot to show you guys that I ordered this off, I think it was Amazon Marketplace, and this is actually a signed copy. It's a personalized signed copy. So it was personalized to someone named Jen, which isn't me, but it is a signed copy, and then it came with a little magnet. So I'm assuming that the person got this at a book signing probably, or I don't know. Like, I don't know if Brittany sells them off her website or not. But anyway, I just wanted to share that before I forgot to mention it. But I think I'm gonna give this 4 stars. 4 sounds pretty good. This is my first Brittany C. Cherry book, and I know that this is not everyone's favorite in the series. I think book 3, I just watched the interview that Jess had with Brittany C. Cherry on her channel yesterday, I think it was, and she was saying that actually the 3rd book in this series, The Silent Waters, I think is what it's called, is probably everyone's favorite of the series. And also, I know Jess loved The Gravity of Us, which is book 4. I'm going to read them in order because I'm like that. And the second book is The Fire of High to Low. I forget what the title of that one is. It's something with fire. Which I don't hear people talk about, like, ever. All the people I know that have read any books in this series have either read the first one and the last one, or the last 2 and not the second one. And I'm like, but like, you don't have to read them in order. There's no interconnecting characters. They're not related in any way, but I have to read them in publication order. That's just how I am. I was hoping though, like, this would have been a good, I know in the interview, Brittany was saying that she doesn't necessarily like to do series because it's the whole process of having to remember details from previous books, and then the further you get into the series, the more you have to remember, because you know your readers are going to remember and then nitpick. She didn't say that. I'm saying that. But so she likes to write like standalones in series, and unless she has an idea in mind, most likely their side characters aren't going to get books. I was really hoping that Elizabeth is our heroine, and then Tristan is our hero. And Elizabeth's best friend in this is Faye. And I was really hoping that we would have gotten a romance for Faye, and maybe Faye and Sam. I don't know. But Faye is such a fun character. Hilarious. She had so many... Every time she was on page, she was like that snarky, sex-obsessed best friend. But all the dirty jokes. She was great. So, I don't know, I don't think I talked, I had no idea what the premise of this was going into it. No idea. Which is why I didn't mention it when I mentioned that I was reading this book. But basically we have 2 very, very broken characters. We have Tristan, who lost both his wife and his son in a horrible car accident. And then we have Emma's the daughter, Elizabeth, who lost her husband also in a tragic car accident and was left with her 5-year-old daughter, Emma. So they moved back to the town that they lived in with her husband, Stephen, into the old house. And their neighbor happens to be Tristan, he's a big grumpy hero, which is understandable given his past. And they strike up it's definitely, I don't know if it's hate to love or enemy. It's not enemies to lovers. He just is grumpy. So I wouldn't call it hate to love. He's just a grumpy hero who just wants to be left on his own and not be bothered by anybody, but ends up finding himself constantly being pulled into Elizabeth's business. He ends up mowing her lawn. So eventually their relationship really just turns physical, and they pretty much use each other to remember their lost spouses. And it's just strictly physical, and it gets hella complicated. And then we have another sort of love interest who comes back into the picture for Elizabeth. Her husband's best friend, also Emma's godfather, comes back into the picture and starts to stir up some trouble. This had I was waiting for this to be like a very angsty, sad romance. The very end of it has a bit of a like
thrillery aspect to it, I guess you would call it. It's got some elements at the end where there's like a villain comes in and like just some stuff happens at the end that makes it a little bit more suspenseful, I guess. There are secrets revealed, and I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about that at the end of the book, because I was like, it was going fine, and then all of a sudden that was kind of thrown in, and you're like, okay. I mean, I wasn't really expecting it to make that kind of a turn. I don't know how I feel about it, which is why I docked it the 1 star, because I was like, I don't know where this is. I don't know. And I also, I was reading a review, I think Tori's review on it was saying that it lacked a little bit of, I don't want to say depth, but there was something was missing getting a connection with the character's relationship. I don't know, there was just something, I don't know what it was. I literally just finished it, so I haven't had time to sit with it and ponder what about it. It wasn't bad by any means. I did enjoy it. I flew through it, the last half of this, I flew through it this afternoon when I got home from work. And, so I'm definitely going to continue on with the series. Like I said, I'm going to read it in order. I have to get the second book, though. I don't currently have it. This is the only one I have. Anyway, I decided next, it's over there, I'm not going to get it right now, but it's currently Friday night, so I still have 2 more days left of this vlog, and I think I'm going to pick up Parallel next by L. O'Rourke, because Jess is having Elizabeth O'Rourke on her channel for an interview on the 17th, I believe. So I want to read, I have read Waking Olivia by her. I do want to read something else, so I'll read Parallel. And I'll probably actually get it finished before the interview. And then that'll probably round out this week's vlog, most likely, depending on if I don't think I have to work this whole weekend, so I'm probably not going to be able to finish it in a single day and have time to read another whole book. So we're just going to pick up Parallel, read that through the weekend, round out this vlog, and then start on the next one. So I also decided that I was thinking about it, and I'm like, these vlogs are like almost 2 weeks behind. So I'm thinking that I'm going to switch the days that I post things. I'm thinking that right now I'm posting these vlogs on the Monday, the week after I do the whole vlog. So I'm thinking, and then I'm posting like other whatever random videos on Thursdays. So I'm thinking I'm going to do the switch and post my vlogs on Thursdays the week after, like, so it's not an entire almost 2 weeks later, it'll just be a few days later, and then I'll post my other whatever videos on Mondays. That would make more sense, and then I won't feel like I'm just way behind with things, even though I don't know, will I be able to edit in 4 days? Theoretically I should be able, 3 days, theoretically should be able to if I sit down and do it. A lot of the times I just waste the entire week and I edit on like Sunday when I'm off, and then get posted on Monday. So we'll see. I should be able to do it. But yeah, so like this coming Monday, the vlog from last week will be going out, and this vlog won't be going out until the following Monday, which seems like weird to me. I don't know why I did it that way. I think just because when I did the first vlog, it just happened to be that that's how my editing process went. But anyway, I'm going to try to switch things around, fix things up until I get into a comfortable place, and then hopefully I'll be happy with that and it'll work out. Anyway, I'm going to go. It is almost 9:30, so I have to go get ready for bed. I don't think I'll start Parallel tonight. It is almost 9:30. I should just go to bed, because I'm worried that everyone is like obsessed with this book, and I'm worried that if I start it, I'm not going to put it down. So I think I'm going to stop reading for tonight, get ready for bed, go to sleep, and then start up again tomorrow. And hopefully I did start editing this vlog already. I put the couple clips together I had together, so hopefully I should have this clip, and then we'll see if I do a clip in the middle of reading parallel or if I'll wait till the end. I am still trying to be conscious of how long I do updates, and it's already been 11 and a half minutes for this one, so I'm definitely gonna go now, and I will talk to you guys later. Hello, so I wanted to pop in for a quick update. It is currently Sunday morning. Is it morning? I don't know what time it is. No, it is no longer morning. It's 12 o'clock on Sunday, which is going to be the last day of this reading vlog. But I still have some, I'm going to do an update, probably this one, and then probably the next one to round things out. I just wanted to kind of check in with my reading because I started 2 books. I mentioned in my previous clip, at least I should have mentioned in my previous clip, that I was going to pick up Parallel by Ella O'Rourke next. So I did start that yesterday. I'm about 75 pages into it and I'm liking it. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So we have our heroine Quinn, who is having, so ever since she was a child, she's been having these dreams about this guy named Nick, who is our hero in the story, and dreams that like they were together, that they're married, like they're so vivid and feel so real that she'll wake up thinking that she actually had these events happen. And after a while they stopped, and now that she's an adult, she's getting married in like a few weeks, and something triggers her episodes to happen again and her dreams to happen again, and they're still just as vivid as she remembers, and they're like more like memories than dreams, and she like essentially goes into like a whole different universe. That's why I'm wondering if that's where the term parallel comes from. Someone said that it's like she time travels, but I'm wondering if it's more like a parallel universe, because it is mentioned that like when Nick and Quinn finally come face to face, like they are currently in the present day, and they meet each other, and like they have this like weird connection that like they know each other, know things about each other that no one else could possibly know because they never told anybody about it. I'm wondering if it's parallel universes, because she mentions at one point, like he's a doctor, he's a neurologist, he's a doctor of some sort. I think he's a neurologist, but he does like different rotations. But he did his residency in London. And she had plans to, wanted to be an architect. So she had plans to go to London to finish her degree or something. But that never happened because her father died before that could happen. So she ended up, her father got sick. I think she ended up going and taking care of her father or something like that. So like, it's interesting because like she's having, like, it feels like the dreams and experiences that she's having would be as if her father didn't get sick and didn't pass away. So like, I'm wondering if this is the where she's going is a parallel universe where things should have happened the way she originally was going to have them happen. And like, if that would have happened, then her and Nick would have met, and would have been what their life would have been like. But because that's not how it happened in this universe, I feel like we're getting 2 parallel storylines going on. At least that's what I'm getting at it. I'm still figuring out, trying to make sense of things. I know this is like a 4 or 5 book series, but I don't know if it follows the same couple. I don't know. I mean, it's only 200 and it's not even 300 pages. So I feel like there has to be, I feel like it would be a lot to shove into a book that short, especially if that's like how this is going. So I feel like, I don't know if it follows the same couple. I'm going to assume it does, but I'm intrigued. Like, I'm not thoroughly confused. There's no answers. There's more questions than answers right now. Like, what's going on? But now that they've met and they're realizing like there's something weird is happening between them. Like, I feel like it's starting to move things forward now, and hopefully we'll get an explanation. On the back, says there's a prophecy about them and people who will stop at nothing to make sure it doesn't come to fruition. So I'm wondering, parallel universes would make sense. I don't know, but someone said time travel though. So I'm like, I don't know, but I'm really interested and curious to find out. The other book, I started this on a whim. I was at work yesterday and I was working in the office again, which I normally I just got a text. Oh, no, it's not important. I usually, when I work in the office, I can usually listen to an audiobook because I'm literally in there by myself. And it's like, that's it. It's office work. So I started listening to Look the Part by Jewel E. Ann. I wouldn't say Julie Ann. It's Jewel E. Ann yesterday. And I got like 42% of the way through this just in that short time span alone. So I'm really liking it. It's really cute. So it's about, no, I'm going to butcher. I'm not going to remember names of people. I'm so sorry. I know the heroine's name is Ellen. That's my aunt's name. That's how I remembered that one. So our heroine is a music therapist. She's like a doctor. She works for the hospital, but uses music therapy to help like different patients for different things. And she needs a new office space. So she ends up renting out the office space above our hero, whose name is blanking from my head right now. And he is a lawyer and doesn't understand what music therapy is. So when he starts hearing her banging on drums and guitars and music and horrible singing and everything, all the freaking noise that she's generating upstairs, he's like, what the hell is going on? And I really love his secretary. I think she is hilarious and quirky, and I love like their relationship because she's made herself indispensable. And every single day, like, she'll do something, he'll be like, you're fired. She'll be like, okay, you'll know where to send my unemployment check to. And like, she'll take the day off, the rest of the afternoon off. Or she has a doctor's appointment and like something will happen and he'll be like, you're fired. She's like, all right, bye, and grabs her purse and leaves. It's funny. I love their relationship. She's just kind of like a side character, but she's a really fun side character. Anyway, so our hero tries to evict the heroine and she's like, okay. But it gets a little bit complicated because his son, Harrison, I think is what his name is. I remember the son's name. I don't remember the guy's name. That's terrible. I remember Harrison because she calls him Harry and he doesn't normally let anyone else call him Harry. But she lets her call her. And she has rats as pets. I love pet rats. I think they're adorable. And she has one. They're all named after like musicians. So she has Mozart and Bach and Stephanie. I can't remember what Lady Gaga's real name is. It's Stephanie something. But she has the rat named Stephanie in her whole entire name and she likes to be called Lady Gaga. And he is like completely appalled that she has these rats. But anyway, his son Harrison gets along really well with Ellen and really takes to music and playing the guitar and learning the guitar. So she strikes up a relationship with his son, which makes it a little bit harder for him to kick her out. But he's also like, it's nothing personal. Like, this is a business deal because I'm having trouble concentrating and doing my work with you banging away, making crazy noise upstairs. So they end up having a relationship that turns physical fairly quickly. I mean, it seems quick because I'm reading it really fast, but I'm liking it. It's really interesting. I love the narrator. There was a moment, this is where I have narrators make or break books for me, especially. You can tell when they're really into it because there's a little small moment where him and the hero and his son are having like a not an argument, but like a discussion that's starting to get really irritating to him. And there's a moment where he says that he grumbled into, like, he rubbed his hands over his face and grumbled into his hands. And you can hear the narrator have actually do that. The way his voice was muffled as he was doing it. I was like, this is great. I love book narrators that really, really dive into their craft. It's really interesting because it's like you're acting without it being people seeing you. So you have to kind of do it in an invisible kind of way, and you can tell, you can notice it when you start listening to more and more audiobooks and getting used to different narrators. You can tell the ones that kind of have been and know their craft really well. So it's fun. Anyway, those are the two books that I'm currently in the middle of. I'm hoping to finish. I don't know if I'm going to finish Look the Part today. I usually wait for audiobooks to either do as I'm driving or to do like while I'm working in the office or whatever. I think I'm 52. I might be 50. I might be halfway through, 50 or 60. I can't remember exactly where I am through the book right now. I know I have about
3 hours, a little over 3 hours left, I think left. But I do want to finish Parallel today. I have about 200 pages left of this. And I wanted to share some book mail with you guys. So I have sort of a half of book mail. So I ordered the Stopover by T.L. Swan, which is her first book in the Miles High Club. It was on sale right now for $7.98 or something on Amazon. So I ordered it and it was 1-day shipping and I was like, sweet. Well, I got it. And this is what I got. An empty, open Amazon package. So that was upsetting. So I had to initiate a replacement for that because this was just laying on my front porch when I came home yesterday. Just an empty bubble mailer. And I assume the driver, he probably realized it, but like they can't really, what is he going to do about it? Like if it's not in his truck, it could be in the warehouse somewhere. It could be anywhere. And, you know, it's kind of like he can't really do much about it. So I initiated the replacement for that. So hopefully that should be here tomorrow. It was shipped this morning. And then off of Pango, I got the second book of the Miles High Club, The Takeover, which is why I got the first. I kind of looked to see what else was, if there's any on sale. I happened to see the Stopover was on sale. So I got that one, and then I got The Takeover, which I hear this is everyone's like favorite of the series. I think there's 4 books, 3 or 4 books in this series. It's a bit of a chunk of a book, but not many people were impressed with the Stopover, but everyone seems to love The Takeover. So I have that one. And again, I don't really know. I think they're billionaire romances. I have no idea. Pilots. Miles High Club is a plain thing. So I have no idea, to be honest. I think they're billionaires or millionaires or rich guys. And then I also got Real by Kennedy Ryan. I heard everyone loves this book by her. I need to read Kennedy Ryan. I don't think I've read any Kennedy Ryan books. I still have the Kingmaker series over there to read. And I know Real is one of everyone's favorites by her, which I think it's an actress, and a director. Yes. So I don't know. I know everyone, like I said, everyone loves this. So I'm excited to finally try to read some Kennedy Ryan. I do have the complete Kingmakers duet and Real, so I really need to read some of her. T.L. Swan will be another new author for me to read. So I feel like the end of this year is going to be me reading new authors. Those are my little mini book haul. Just wanted to check in and give a chat. And again, this is a super long update. I'm sorry for that. But anyway, I'm going to probably go read. I might shower first. I left work early today because I could. I worked yesterday and it was just so, I got done with everything is like super early, and like I had like 2 hours left and I was just like losing my mind because I was so bored. And since I did most of my work yesterday, when I came in this morning, I did what I had to do. And then I went back to my actual department and did stuff there. And then I was done and it was like 10 o'clock and I'm like, can I just go home now? I know everyone's complaining about we don't have payroll for the week. So I'll just save you some hours and go home early. I'm still going to get paid for the hours. I have time to use, like paid time off to use. So I'm going to use some of that. Got home early. I'm off tomorrow. I'm going to try to do, there's a video that I think is going to be a little bit fun that I want to do tomorrow. We'll see if it works out though. I'm gonna go shower, start my laundry, and then read more of Parallel. And then maybe I'll listen to, we'll see. Depending on when I finish Parallel, we'll see if I end up finishing Look the Part as well. I'd be very surprised if I did, because that'd be 4 books I read this week. But again, we'll see. It's still early in the day. I've got all afternoon to do whatever I need to do. And I already have my clip my video for tomorrow's already edited. I just need to make the thumbnail for it. This one is like halfway started edited, so we're on a roll. And I think this one will probably go out Thursday. I think I said I was going to swap my videos when they go out. So if I post last week's vlog tomorrow and then this vlog will go out Thursday, I'll be on track, because then Monday I can post whatever video I have ready in the wings for Monday, and then I can do the vlog. So hopefully it'll work out. We'll see. Anyway, I've been talking for over 15 minutes now for this update, and so I'm gonna stop now and definitely go do what I need to do, and then my next update will be me closing out this vlog and telling you if I finished what I wanted to finish and my thoughts on that. And all right, I'll see you guys later. Hello, this is Sarah.
from Thursday, the day this vlog is going out. It's probably super late by the time you're seeing this, if you're watching this the same day. If you haven't guessed, I wasn't done in time with the editing for this to be posted, and there's no excuse for it other than I was just procrastinating, putting it off. I, for whatever reason, wasn't feeling like picking up Parallel for like the whole weekend, so I never finished it. Didn't finish Parallel yet. I'm 100 pages in. The interview with Elizabeth O'Rourke on Jessica's channel. Jessica's channel is tomorrow. So I have expectations to finish this book, if not tonight, because it's 4 o'clock already, then definitely tomorrow. However, I need to close out this vlog because I need to finish editing. Like, it's editing, I just need to put the closing clip in and upload it and get it online. So I'm going to close this out. I did finish Look the Part by Julie Ann, and I'm giving it 4 stars. I forgot to mention that Harrison Flint, who is our hero's name, I remembered his name at some point, is autistic, and he really connected with music, which was what made it so difficult for Flint to get rid of Ellen. He didn't want to upset his son, because he did lose his wife in a very horrific car accident and has been a single father for the last however many years. Anyway, I give this 4 stars, and the reason I'm giving it 4 stars is because of the trope at the end of this book. Now, normally, I say this constantly, and I don't know why I keep repeating myself, but in case someone hasn't seen my videos before, this is like their first time coming in, I normally like this trope. 90% of the time, I'm fine with this trope. It doesn't bother me. This is one of the time but I'm realizing as I go through that I like knowing it's happening. Like, I like being able to see it coming before it happens. This one, again, I was listening to it on audio, so it's possible I missed the signs for it, but it was one of those things that I didn't see it coming until it was like right then and there, and you're like, oh no, is this gonna be in this book? And I'm like, but this is the reason that this couple, like, it really made them closer? I don't know. I was just kind of like, I wasn't a fan of it. The book was great until that part, and I'm like, it wasn't terrible. It's just I was kind of blindsided and not expecting it, and I was just like a little bit disappointed by that. That's the route it took, but otherwise overall I enjoyed it, and I'm definitely gonna read more from Julie Ann. She has like 30 books. She has so many books on her backlist, so I wouldn't even know where to start next, what to pick up next, but definitely will read more from her. I did get my replacement for my copy of The Stopover by T.L. Swan. However, another funny story. So it was delivered, okay? I was upstairs, up here, and someone was knocking at the door, and I don't answer my front door, okay? I get solicitor, I live in town, I get solicitors, I get Jehovah's Witness, I get people, just like, I don't answer the door. If you're coming to visit me, you need to tell me ahead of time that you're stopping by, and I need to make sure that I'm okay with you coming by, because I don't like people just randomly showing up. Anyway, my bedroom is next door and it's in the front of the house, so I ran into the room to look out the window to see who was there, and some guy walked off my porch carrying an Amazon package and like walked across to the house across the street, and I'm like, that's really weird. So I waited till he was inside, went down to my porch to see what the hell was going on, and my package was there. And the top was open. Like, the perforation was ripped off. Like, someone had, like, he physically opened it. And I'm going to assume, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that it was delivered to the wrong house. It was delivered across the street instead of to my house. And he probably didn't look at the address, just opened it, figuring it was something for him, and then realized, okay, this isn't mine. And then looked at the address and returned it and was knocking on the door to let me know. That's my assumption. I'm fine with that, but it's still like, it eked me out a little bit because I'm like, someone was like in my package. Like, it gets to me because I've had instances with where I live before I got my current vehicle that has an alarm system on it. Like, people would break into my car and like leave the door open. So like, I knew someone was in the car, and it gave me like this really unsettled, uncomfortable feeling that someone else was in my car, like rooting around and like in things, and it made me really uncomfortable. So like the same idea happened with like the book that someone opened my package and was like in it and like touching it, and I'm like, okay. Anywho, I got my replacement. All's well that ends well, and we're good to go. So that's gonna be the end for this vlog. I didn't even start this week's vlog yet. It's already Thursday. The next week's vlog is gonna probably be like a 3 or 4 day vlog, so it'll be hopefully shorter. I'm gonna finish Parallel. That's gonna be in the next vlog. I need to read Fallen Jester and Tin Queen to finish out the Clifton Forge read along, and I need to read what is it next week. Cheyenne is doing, I think Cheyenne and Tori are interviewing Michelle Hurd. So I need to read Taken by a Sinner. It's probably going to be the next book I read. And then this is just a little bit of a glimpse into the next vlog. And then I need to read Does It Hurt for another readathon. And I think that's a longer book. I don't know. Like, I have reading plans. It's just a matter of me taking the time to focus and sit down and read and actually get through them all. So anyway, that's gonna be the end for this vlog. Sorry it's a hot mess. The next one probably will be too, but I'm gonna try to keep and be consistent as possible just to at least give you guys some content. Anyway, I'm gonna go figure out my life, and I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you read any of these books, what you thought of them, or what you read this week. If you're participating in the Clifton Forge read along, again, I'm going to remind this again, I mentioned this before in the beginning of this, but please be sure to download the rest of the books in the series before Saturday when they are taken off if you want to read them. And I want to go. I hope you guys are having a wonderful summer, the end of summer, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye.